Okay, fallacy midday meditation reflections. 4 days to it. So, the reason I hate Christmas, and despite being Christ, Lord, is the demagogues ruin Christmas all year long, right? You look forward to it. They move in on the families and all year long, and the families mark each other up. And often the families ask, if I had, or say something, if I had only $1 million, I could solve all my problems. Okay, I'm novice. I've thought a little. I'm not a merchant myself, really, just generally. And I'm a novice. However, the Mercury complex is the complex of thieves and merchants, traditional Hellenistic medicine. And the complex of the Hellenistic medicine was standardized in the standard citizen era and is attuned to guiding merchants and thieves becoming merchants. Yes, there's definitely some controversy in all economic activity. So, essentially, old trade houses start out old, like 1800s, right? That's how we say old. We don't say ancestral in regard to legalistic entities. Well, unless they're really old. You say old, so old 1800s trade houses started with a pen and a piece of paper. So what you do when you're tired of sitting around in the urban ghetto, watching everybody get drunk and high and screaming barbaric nonsense, babbling, you commit to paper. What specific niche in the local market which you can actually reach and project into? This is also the forum, emprx grand forum. What niche market or opportunity or combination of services or something, if it's mowing lawns, if it's a job, getting a job, or like a job with the city or something, right? You're still a merchant. You're selling your labor for a currency. So it starts with a piece of paper like these, and a pen. Well, your name. So if you want to be a millionaire, you gotta achieve deification. People have to know your name. You have to practice social customs of all the dialects. So if you're gonna go beyond your borough or your street corner, you gotta learn social custom. How to say hello. How to interact with other people. Now, trade houses have a lot to them. Like there's a lot of fundamental background to a trade house. However, at any time you can found a new trade house. You simply write what you're gonna specialize in. Uh, breaking it off with whatever you're into now. Let's say you're dealing cocaine or fentanyl, and you're tired of demented drug addicts babbling nonsense, asking you for things, ruining your life, whatever it is. And you're gonna found your own trade house in what? What's local? Corner store? You're not gonna be a millionaire with a corner store. They all want to be millionaires or billionaires in short order. So what you do is you found a trade house lineage, and you prepare for Hades to carry out your trade house specialization. Make sure you're clear from the get go what you're gonna trade in, because you're gonna find a lot of resistance. Everybody wants to sell something, make $1 million. But if you know a niche, for instance, smoked meat, that's productive and useful, consumable, and people buy it. You resource the meat from another merchant, a slaughterhouse. You smoke it, you load it in a vehicle, and you drive around to stores that buy it. And then at the end of the month, they PO and they send you the funds for the meat on contract agreement. No street drugs appear easy to do or whatever. And reliable is not. It's a dirty, nasty business. Even if legal or decriminalized. However, Mercury would like to point out that you have the fundamentals of a merchant. If you're engaged in relatively, you have some skills in the merchant trades. If you're dealing drugs, and that's big industry. Most of my product, no, they're not productive, but most of them are engaged in dealing drugs or alcohol or something fucked up. So you take those skills, those transferable skills, and you apply them to a specialized niche which is reliable, sober, preparing for Hades, and you mind a trade house for the rest of eternity. A manifest destiny instead of an egregious plague on mankind. There's other, let's say a factory worker, never done drugs, clean fellow or whatever, right? They don't like that one. The other one. But that's the reality of my people. There's a factory worker. Let's make it a bill worker. Well, uh, let's make it a well-to-do oil refinery worker. Notices a niche in downhole something technical. Just a little slight difference in the technology, and knows it's going to be big across the world, right? A little harder bit, a little sharper bit, whatever it is. Maybe it's lighter for the men to carry or whatever. Or something in the refinery. Just a little patented uh, improvement. The Mercury cult, they definitely know about that stuff. So what you do is you write down, I'm fine. Mercury, please guide me. Mercury culti, please guide me. I'm about to endeavor in the founding of a merchant house, knowing full well I'll face opposition and overwhelming odds. I'm specializing in what? Whatever it is. Service, product, whatever it is. Something useful though. Because they literally will resist you if you don't take out the entry plan and the exit plan. Right? As long as the Mercury cult gets it straight what you're actually doing from the get go. And I mean, you can adapt as you go along, but let's say you decide you're going to provide this product to a certain region, and then you decide you're going to raid someone else's region that's already selling nothing. Creates elemental destabilization in the universe. And they already got a writ with Mercury. You see? In different trade house. So you got two choices. You either join into one trade house or you go to war with each other. Anyway, you got to prepare for Hades. Yeah, that's the trouble. Most people, you think of the next step, not beyond their own life. The lineage, right? And that's not how business actually works. So in the United States, they've got troubled legislation around corporations having the status of human beings. You know, right? It's troubled, right? Let's say you need a little guidance from the ancestors, the ancient ancestors, to get started. What do you do? And all my people are merchants. So there's one rule: human trafficking, illegal. Selling cannibalistic products, illegal. Prohibited. And really, that's it. Oh, maybe local laws and things like not selling ivory across borders and things. Oh, yeah, I mean, you've got to be practical. Anyway, most of these urban ghetto dwellers are not going to be thinking of international trade. However, small local niche, finding that one little opportunity and gaining proficiency in it. Knowledge in the product, knowledge in the people, developing relationships and rapport, trustic relations in your community. If your plan is to be an international trade house, there's definitely opportunity here. There's a international free trade agreement called the TPPA, and Asia is hungry for products, and the West is hungry for products, and moving them around, and there is numerous opportunities. However, with meager capital, etc., realistically, sometimes Mercury provides, sometimes they don't. Even good ideas fail. So, from what the internet says, and I think I know, this Mercury uh, Ethereal Observation Complex, culti, standardized several times throughout humanity's history, refers offerings of manufactured uh, nature, which is freely available. So, incense, burning incense, wine, books, anything manufactured. That's all your guys' culture, right? You're already engaged in the cult, eh? You're just not really taking part, right? Uh, Obviously, I beseech you to engage in something other than street drugs and thievery. So it's all about intention in your preparation and foundational documents. So if your intention is to be a thief and dishonest, well, it's a cult of thieves and merchants. You will undoubtedly be used as a thief. You will not achieve $1 million business. You will be the low street urchin you are in your humble beginnings. You will not gain in social status. You will not found a legacy. However, if that's what you are, there's certainly merchant houses that absorb thieves, right? Well, whatever it is, services sometimes. Competing trade houses raiding each other, idiotic, really. And it's what it is. The free and open market. So, what are your intentions? Do you want to live a life of misery? Do you want to be used as a thief, a beggar, handed scraps? Or do you want the noble task of founding or becoming part of a blessed trade house engaged in something useful? So, all these trade houses have a culture. Some have philosophical visions. Uh, for instance, North American Construction Corporation. Now, the undisciplined mind might look at a company poster that declares this is a corporation where everyone's going to want to work hard at and go home safely. Right? You might find the entry indoctrination weak, fallacy untrue, obnoxious, even, right? Oh, how can a corporation getting by in cringe, meager, extreme dystopia, paying not much, meager, right? Just enough to get by in a corporate structure. For all these hours of work in miserable conditions, how can they claim to do that, right? And especially when you get oriented to your crew and you develop your own kind of corporate culture. The fallacy of corporate visions, trade houses. If one is not disciplined, then you corrupt the trade house, right? So you want to found your own trade house, presented as a corporation in a forum, in a public emprx forum. Good, right? Find the product, find the skill, find whatever it is. Right? It's simple. And there's certainly like Jimmy Buffett, a billionaire. All he'd do is find talented people. Right? How do they hear about talented people? How do they become aware of a talented young entrepreneur, sole proprietorship, corporation, whatever it is? How? Do you think you call them and start babbling? Hey, Mr. Jimmy Buffett, I've got the most amazing opportunity for the low value. No, it's a thorough. And you have to be patient. And even, let's say, this is the thing. If you've got a really good idea, right, you have to be prepared for eternity. It may be miserable in your lifetime. You got to look over the horizon of the next day into eternity and prepare for that. And that's true success. Look at Google. Nobody heard of Google when I was a child. Right? Google. World renowned. I bet you there's no one on earth that hasn't heard of Google. Or the computer companies, etc. However, the average urban dweller, it can be something as simple as what? A manufacturing plant. Let's say you corporatize with your community, and you realize if you provide bricks for this major build programming of housing or something, anything, that's certainly an opportunity. If you scrape together from your welfare payments or your street drug trade, yesterday's thieves, well, welfare's not thievery, social guarantee. If you scrape together, let's say Mercury doesn't endow you with a angel contributor, angel investor. If you, because ordinarily they don't do that, right? But they will guide you. If you scrape together a little bit of money from all your welfare payments and build a community factory making bricks for a build program, whoa, then you build houses for the rich or whatever. Rich buy brick houses. Bricks are made out of clay in a simple machine. There's opportunity. Some places are devoid of any useful economic opportunity or activity. Uh, So there's opportunities. You got to problem solve, right? Prepare for eternity and problem solve. Certainly encourage your official clansman click to do that. Right? If the clansman takes an interest, the chieftain or the ancient chieftain or the modern chieftain takes an interest, you've got it made. But they're not going to take an interest in someone who's selling drugs to their people. Right? That's not prestigious. No matter what the demagogue babbles in the environment, there's no prestige in that. There's shame in that, right? So, oh, that's Mercury. We little shrines of Mercury invite him into this space. And you worship there. Make offerings. Ask for guidance. There's it. There's a little information online, but you have to realize this is ancient ancestors, ethereal observation. There's a manual, standard manual, engineered by the legionary and the auxiliaries. And if it doesn't happen in one day, don't despair. Right? Year over year, you can definitely put a functional business together in any urban center. In extreme dystopian and natural vulgarities. So, it is what it is. Um, Wait, improviser Augustine the First. Jordan.